There's an emulator called Fusion, and the logo is a big blue K. You can't miss it. You can run Master System games on it, Game Gear, and Genesis games, and 32X games on them, and Sega CD games on it. It does everything. If you like Sega games, just get this. So you would make a folder for each of these different ROMs. So like you'd have your Master System folder, Game Gear folder, and so on. And then put all the games in its own individual folder. And that's just, in my opinion, the easiest way to manage using this whole thing. And then you would just click, if I want to play a Sega Genesis game, I just click load Genesis games. And then go to the folder I have it saved in and choose a game, and it's just gonna run the game. Nice and easy. You can hard reset the emulator. You can pretend to turn it off like you would the actual console. You can do a soft reset. You can emulate the Game Genie on this. And just net play. And you can load states and save states, so you can save the game at any point, no matter where you are in the game, and go back to it at any time. You can change the state slot you're in, so if I'm playing the game and I want to save it in state slot 9 every time I save, I just switch it here. You can screenshot the game, but if you're on Windows, you can screenshot with your keyboard. I'm gonna skip this because I don't even know what that does. File history is just a log of every game you open up in the emulator. You can just go right here and open it back up because you'd probably be going back to the same game you're playing anyway. And you can clear the history, which is inconvenient actually, because you wouldn't be able to go back to your games quick. In the video settings, you can choose the window size. And then you can choose the full screen resolution. This emulator has no real full screen mode, like you'll always see the window, no matter what. So the full screen is a lie for this. You can put scan lines on it because people like to play the game exactly how it looked in the past. Then there's TV modes, which I'm not even gonna pretend I know what each one looks like. Fixed aspect ratio is the best way to play on the emulator because no matter how big or small the window is, the game is going to look exactly how it's supposed to and no pixels will be stretched out. Nearest multiple, I forgot what that meant. Then there's other video settings. You can change the video settings however you want to make the game look however you want. That's convenient. Sound, you can disable the sound immediately right here. You can choose the hertz. Super HQ, I've never even heard of that before in my life. And you can do other things to the sound if you want to. And then you can configure in options. This is, wait, what is this? Okay, these are where you don't have to do anything here. This is where your games are being read. So if you want to load a Sega Genesis game, you would just choose the folder you want the game to be in. You choose where it saves the games and everything. This is where you choose that. And then you would go to configuration and then controllers. And you set the controls for each individual console that this emulator can run. So that's cool. So you can have completely different controls for the Master System and Game Gear, and then completely different controls for Genesis and Sega CD, and you can save them. And it'll just be like that all the time, no matter what. And there's extra things here, like being able to screenshot the game. You can choose what folder it goes in and the file format it gets saved in. That's nice. You can choose the country which I'm not even sure what the region differences are, but you can change that. You can, I don't know what perfect sync is, you can show the FPS. Show Sega CD LEDs, that's the default setting, it's turned on by itself. I don't know what that is, but you can turn it on. And there's all these settings here. The important ones is pause emulation, frame advance, and fast forward. These are the quick ones you'd want to go to. You can enable the keyboard. You can disable all your hotkey shortcuts. So if you hit your keyboard by accident, nothing will happen, so you don't have to worry about that. And that is it. That's everything about Fusion Emulator. Thanks for watching.